Hey there everybody, Jason from Diestel here. Today we are going to set up a little experiment for you. We're going to get to the dirt on clean. What do I mean by that? Well, we're going to compare two different surfaces with two different cleaners. Okay, first what we need to do is we need to establish the cleanliness of these two surfaces, or lack thereof. So we've got our trusty ATP meter, we have our swabs. We're going to swab side A and side B and establish that baseline. Once we've done that, we're going to clean with both of our cleaners. The probiotic cleaner, just basically we're going to spray it on, wipe it off, let it dry. The disinfecting spray on the bottle, it actually says we need to let it sit for 10 minutes. It needs to be wet and sitting on the surface for 10 minutes. So we're gonna go through that process, let it do that. We'll test the surface again and see what the levels are. Probably we'll drop them. And then we're gonna come back an hour later and see what has repopulated those areas. So stick around, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, so first step, we're gonna make sure that these surfaces are in fact dirty. We're going to validate that by using our meter and our swab. So let's get started. So in order to do this, we're using an ATP meter. This meter, as you guessed, is measuring adenotriphosphate. Okay, maybe you didn't guess that, but the swab is picking up the ATP on the surface. And that is our side A swab. Here's our side B swab. And we are going to swab this side as well. There's something in this swab called luciferons, and when we activate it, it's going to mix with the ATP that we've just picked up. It's going to give us a relative light reading and give us an estimate of, how clean or dirty this surface is. So let's start with the first side. Like that. And we will run the test. Okay, that is a 2.9 on the test. So relatively a clean sample, but let's see what happens. We can see what we can do if we can get better. Test our other side now. Okay, that side is a 3.6. Okay, so let's treat this side with our Clorox cleaner. Okay, we're going to follow the instructions. We're going to let that sit, and then we'll do the same thing with our probiotic. We're going to test them both, come back and share the results with you. Okay, we're back. It's been a little bit over an hour, and we want to see if the levels have changed at all. Have they gone up? Have they gone down? What's going on here with our table? So if you remember, this is the Clorox side. I'm going to do a quick swab of the surface to see how we're doing. On the Clorox side, the level didn't actually continue to change. It went up even from our initial reading. Let's do our probiotic side. So I've already swabbed the probiotic side. Let's see what the level is 1 hour after cleaning. Okay, so there's our test, a 3.0 RLU of 90, and the level stayed fairly consistent. It didn't go up, so that's good. Okay guys, so we have some pretty interesting results. We started off on the Clorox side. We remember a 3 is considered relatively clean by this meter. So we started off with a 2.9 with a relative light unit of 64. After cleaning, It was within a margin of error is about the same. That was unusually low for a pre-clean number, but it went to a 3.0, so from a 2.9 to a 3.0. And then 1 hour afterwards, post-cleaning, the level actually went up. It went to a 3.3, 170 relative light unit. Right over here on the probiotic side, we started off at a 3.6. That's kind of what I'd expect to see. It was a 353 on the RLU. After cleaning, it dropped to a 2.8 or a 51 RLU, and 1 hour after cleaning, it had a marginal rise, went to 3.0 and 90. So I would have expected it to stay the same or be lower, but hey, you know, this is a real world example, and it was significantly lower than the Clorox side 1 hour post cleaning. So you may be wondering, you know, how is that possible? What's going on? You know, for most of us, we're probably only going to clean a surface maybe once a day, maybe a couple times a day, or, you know, even less than that. So what's happening between that time is there's actually all kinds of bacteria floating around in the air. It's landing on the surface, and on the side that had the Clorox, all we did was we tried to kill everything on that side, and that's all we did. And so as new things are introduced, if that chemical's not still there, it's going to be free to grow. There's probably a bunch of proteins still left behind, and so that's what we're seeing here in this number, is that the numbers actually grew an hour later. On the probiotic side, we did something completely different. We didn't actually kill anything. We consumed all the food. So the probiotics went down, they went to work, they consumed the food, they deconstructed the biofilm, which is the house that the bugs were living in, the microbes were living in before we got there. So we're getting clean at the microscopic level. When free-floating bacteria in the air lands on that surface, and as we introduce more bacteria to that surface, the probiotics on that side, they were still there. They were still creating competitive exclusion. They're still overcoming that area, and they are keeping it clean for a couple of days, 3 days or more, to be exact. So it's a really beautiful system. It works very well, and you can see it in the results that it does keep the surface cleaner over time. So hey guys, it's amazing to think about what's happening at the microscopic level. Some might say that there's more to it than meets the eye. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking around, learning a little bit more about the Diestel difference. If you like the content that we're bringing you, go ahead and smash that like button. We'll see you next time.